My name is Jordan Levy. I am a camera assistant, and we are on a beautiful rainy day here in Brooklyn in my kitchen because Zacuto USA has sent me this box of camera rigging gear. This all started on one of the DSLR forums, Planet 5D, and Steve Weiss and I got into a little bit of a conversation, and he thought it would be good if I had some of their equipment to look at. I wanted to open it on camera for you guys. The idea is just that I think you have all probably done what I did, which is go through the entire website and try to build a concept of what you think would be a perfect rig. And so what we're going to do today is see just how close I got to everything working the way I think it will. So I'm going to cut into the box here, and we will see what I got. Packaging. Oh wow, we have quite a bonanza here. Alright, so that's it for the box. Alright, so what I ordered from Zacuto starts with a Z cage. Now, so far, it's pretty much what I expected. This has my side handles and my top handle and the DSLR base plate, which is really where this whole discussion got started, is this piece here superior to some of the other options on the market? That is going to be the core of my rig. Here is the second core piece to my rigging, is the shoulder pad and Q quick release. I have to check exactly what that's called, but that is going to go, I think, like that behind my Z cage. And then this is going to be my battery plate. This will work together, so we can start a layout a little bit. Something on that end. At this point, we'll put the front rods onto the Z cage. Now basically, this is what you get, I think, when you order the cage from Zacuto. That's what you have. Now I have requested 2 additional 3.5-inch rods, which are going to screw into the back here of the unit. And this is really going to give me a foundation to start to build out my accessories. So the idea with the cage, I think, is that a lot of your accessories stay very close to the camera, but you do need some room to work behind the rig in order to facilitate a shoulder pad and a battery mount and that kind of counterbalance. So I'm working with a 5D Mark II. Right now I have on my 16-35 zoom, which is a good size lens, I think, to sort of figure out some of the balancing aspects of this. If I'm correct, we should be able to quick release this. That comes off. Alright, and then this is where we mount our camera. Now I'll be curious to see, as we use this rig more, how much twisting is going to be a problem. This part does not have anything to keep the camera body from twisting around on the plate. So we're going to screw that in nice and tight, and we are going to see how this fits together. I think because I have the battery grip here, I need to drop this down. We are going to need to get the Allen key set, and we will find out momentarily if Zacuto is millimeters. Yes, they are. Let's just drop it down and leave it loose for a moment. I may need to adjust the height of the cage overall here. Okay. Alright, now I'm locked into the plate, and I should be able to center my lens right over my rods, which I'm doing now, and I'll lock that in. And then we don't have any follow focus accessories today. I think that looks like a good height all the way drop down for me now. So I'm going to tighten these nuts here. So that gives me the core of my unit. We seem to have nice balance. I have a top handle essentially, which I think is really important just for utilizing one of these things on set. One of the things I was curious about is clearance. So if I need to do a card change, Rhett, I don't know if you can get that. Right now, this door cannot open all the way, and my camera's off, so I can give this a shot. Right as I have it now, I cannot get the card out, so I'm going to have to play with the alignment here. I may simply be able to shift the rig over enough. That gets my top handle centered. There's something to be said for that. And let's try it again. Alright, now my door swings freely. So that is a step in the right direction. Now, if we are just going to be on the tripod, I think my inclination would be to go straight with the battery here. An Aton Bauer brick would sit right here. You could probably even have it hanging off the edge there. This feels pretty solid. And you can mount your accessories here. We could have an audio mixer here, wireless. My monitors would generally be in this vicinity. We will use some of, I'm sure that the accessories are here to mount some of those other types of Israeli arms and things to mount monitors and eventually even the viewfinders. I can pick the whole rig up when we need to move off. It sits nicely on my tripod here, and we seem to have pretty good balance and freedom of movement. Now, we don't have the weight of a battery right now, and we're not contesting with any cables yet. This is kind of a dumb, dead setup right now, but that gives you an idea of what studio mode would look like. Now, for handheld, I think the ergonomics are a little different. We are going to use our quick release here to clamp on this shoulder pad. Right to the back of these rods. And then our battery plate, which hopefully there will be enough room for everything. Will go right here. And that is going to eventually, when we have the batteries to play with, is going to give me my counterbalance over my shoulder. And let's pull out some of the handheld accessories. Now, if you've seen any of the Zacuto videos on their site, they are a big fan of lengthy rods. They like to keep your hands low. In my experience, when we're working with 35mm cameras or 16mm cameras on set, generally the hands are up. So I think that's going to really depend on the DP that you're working with. But the way these rods are set up now is for the Zacuto sort of low part. That's an interesting piece there. This is going to keep this handle from rotating once I fit it into the block. Okay, so that gives us our forward hand grips. Let's go on. Now I'm putting them right onto the rods that are going below the lens. So this is going to set up a situation potentially where some clearance issues there. You have to make sure that everything is really all the way seated, otherwise some of these knobs don't clear as you twist them. And let's get the hand grips pointed in a general idea of what we want. All right, so there we have it. Let's come off the tripod. Now here you're going to see my top handle come into use. I can balance the whole rig from the top. If I'm handing it to my DP, say I'm the first camera assistant, if they're a right-handed person, I'm going to be able to hand it to them, put it up on their shoulder. This will get heavier as you add accessories, obviously, but that is really the idea. I think I have my grips a little too high. That looks a little better. Now, I chose not to offset the camera. In every sort of more professional setting, you are always going to need to feed Video Village, at which point you're talking about utilizing the HDMI port and a splitter, and you're going to be turning things into HDSDI, and there's no way you can use this back screen anyway. So I don't have a monitor today, but we should later this week when we play with this at some of the rental houses. You're always going to have a monitor. I wanted to keep this streamlined in one line so that the weight was really more akin to what you'd expect with a 16mm camera. And I'm thinking you would have in this setup, because the camera is so far back over my shoulder, you can see it's almost flush with my face. I would have a monitor here. Eventually you'd have the electronic viewfinder mounted off the cage here. And I'm a left eye, so I would have it extended out a little bit. But basically, that's the idea. We are going to clip it back. That's it. So later this week, hopefully we're going to be in some of the camera rental houses in the city. We're going to have some batteries to play with. We're going to have some monitors to plug on. And we're going to start to see how all of the bits and pieces really come together. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more fun with this rig over the next couple months. Thanks.